Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. It's a new week of comics. One of those releases is in my hand. This is Luke Cage, Everyman. Now, this was a digital series that is now in print for the first time. So Marvel released this as a digital comic. Is now collecting all the issues in this trade paperback. It's by Anthony Del Cole, Jahnoy, Lindsay, and Ian Herring. I believe it's an all-Canadian creative team, So the story is obviously about Luke Cage. Marvel's been taking a lot of their Netflix characters and doing these Marvel digital originals with them. It's a great idea, great concept. Love the fact they're doing it. So Anthony is an amazing writer. He's done some really cool stuff. You Kill Shakespeare. If you've never seen it or never read it, go check it out. It's fantastic. So with this concept, he's actually dived into an issue that we don't see too often with superheroes. That's CTE. There is someone running around causing issues in New York City, attacking the rich, and Luke Cage is getting jacked up, beaten left and right, and he suffers for it. So the question is like, does he really have CTE? Is this something else? But he's pretty convinced he's got CTE, and CTE, for those who don't know, this is the brain damage that you get from playing football. Full disclosure, my grandfather played football many, many decades ago. We didn't find out till post-death that he most likely had some damage due to his time playing football. So the issue of CTE is something that has hit our family. It's not something that he suffered greatly from or that we necessarily noticed. There was maybe some signs here and there, but towards the end there was clearly some signs. But he had some damage. So the effects of this brain damage is something that I've seen. And obviously there's a lot of news of it. There's football players who are committing suicide because they just can't deal with it anymore. So bring that idea and concept to superheroes, I think, is a fascinating thing, and something I hope more people explore. With the blows that they take, the damage to their bodies, we don't see that explored enough. Obviously we got Heroes in Crisis over and DC Land, where they are exploring the PTSD aspect of being a superhero, but the physical damage of it just is not something that's talked about too often. So the fact that Anthony Del Cole is doing this and Marvel has explored this, I thought is really interesting. Now, that being said, I don't necessarily think it's explored enough in the comic. It's a lot of Luke thinking he has this and wondering how it's going to impact him and kind of debating whether or not he's going to have to retire being a superhero while going on this mission. It doesn't quite have that last mission feel to it that you would think might occur with that, but I think the concepts are really, really good. And the villain that's there is a really unique villain. I like the twists and turns on it. It really plays with this concept that Luke is a street-level character of the people of his area of Harlem. And, the villain has that similar aspect to it, coming from a kind of a different viewpoint, or really winding up at a different viewpoint as him, and to how to deal with these issues that they both kind of are seeing. So I think it's really neat. The other thing I really enjoy about it is that he winds up fighting a villain that you don't necessarily associate with him too much. The one, I think, negative about it is it doesn't explain necessarily why that villain is involved well enough. He's just kind of there. But that being said, it's kind of a cool reveal, and I like that aspect of the two of them going at it. Iron Fist is involved eventually, and it's there's a lot of Luke wondering how he's going to deal with his daughter and caring for her, and if he indeed has CTE. So great concepts throughout the comic. It's entertaining. I like it. I generally like it. It's $19.99, which I think is maybe a little bit pricey. If it was $14.99, I don't think I would have as much issue with it. But it's a really good read. Again, I like the idea of doing these digital comics and collecting them together this way. The art is good. It's not great. It's good. There's some points where the style really works, and it's there's almost a manga-esque aspect to it. You know what it really reminds me of is the manga X-Men and I think Iron Man series that they did, the animation that came out maybe a decade ago or so, that I think it was like Grant Morrison wrote or something like that. It reminds me a lot of that art style. Again, not necessarily a bad thing, it's just whether or not you like it or not. There is, as far as extras, we have the covers for the digital comics, which is kind of weird to think about. And then a Q&A in the back with the creators. Oh, yeah, this just was stuck because this came and got wet, so it's not anything actually on the production. That's just my issue. Overall, it's if you are a Luke Cage fan, check it out. Like, chances are you haven't read it because it was digital, and I know digital kind of goes over people's heads. So this is your opportunity to go get a physical copy and check it out. I liked it. Like, if you're a Luke Cage fan, I think it's well worth getting, and it definitely gives you a little bit of a different aspect and look at the character and his family life and what it means to be a superhero and what kind of the risk that they are taking by doing that. So out in stores now, out in bookstores, it'll be like 2 weeks. It'll be the 27th, I believe, when it should be released. It should be the 27th is when it's out, but we'll have that all underneath. Go get it in comic shops first and foremost. Always go support in comic shops. There's a link beneath this video. You put in your zip code. It'll tell you if a shop's near you. No shop, no problem. There are affiliate links. The affiliate links, do you support our site by purchasing them? So thank you for that. Now, if you're into Luke Cage, if you're into Marvel, if you're into trade paperbacks, comics, graphic novels, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy. Keep it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.